Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunex, and with me, as always, is our NHL and analyst expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame to his game because he is always the same.
There's no shame to his game because he's always the same, Max. It's not some like you did it good the last show.
I did it good this time. It's the same tone as the last show.
What are you
same
in
exact
East,
tone?
What are you in the East River? That's so green in your background. What is going on, X?
What do you mean green?
It's green. It looks green. Green.
Lights.
Why are your lights all green? Why
they're
don't
actually
you put, lights?
They're actually light blue.
Well, they don't look blue today.
They're blue. They're blue. All right, so before we get into the show, just got to go over some housekeeping. If you guys enjoy the content, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comments. That way we can get this algorithm out to the masses. We can get this podcast out to the masses. Also, we shoot to have this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you do enjoy the content over here, we have another show called the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. We shoot to have that show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
Yeah, and we're pretty close to those times.
Yeah, we've been a little late the last couple of times. Now, was ready.
It takes you a half an hour to pick it up.
Whoa. Chill. First off, I was ready. I sent you the request, and I had to wait for you.
You were not ready. You were not ready because you sent me the request at not even 9 o'clock. It was after 9 o'clock. The fact is that you could not put together a title or a description.
Aren't you the NHL analyst and expert?
You're the grunty who does the grunty work.
You're the NHL analyst and expert
who brings the people in. Even with your failures, I am still here.
Oh, even with my failures. That's a good one. That is a good one. So, do we want to get in some comments real quick, Grumpy? Change it up a little bit. A little change of pace.
Go ahead. Let's hit some comments quickly.
All right, let's hit some comments quick.
X, basic hockey question of the week. Name 5 Islanders captains not named Anders Lee.
I think I can name one, and that's Jonathan Tavares. I remember him because I watched him play. Jesus. Would I be able to know any of the other ones? Do you think I should know any of them?
Well, some of them are legendary Islander players.
Mike Bossy.
You're not. No, it wasn't Mike Bossy. You're not going to get it. He's not going to get it.
Okay. That was tough. That was tough.
That's not. But X has actually been doing a little bit of homework.
I have. I went ahead and watched some Islanders highlights from last year. And I guess I can go over this right now, Grumpy.
Yeah, we can talk about the Islander highlights right away.
One thing I noticed, I watched just a YouTube video of their highlights from last year. A lot of obviously was pretty much all their goals. I saw the Sorokin goal, which was really cool. I thought that was neat. I just thought that was cool. I bounced in and stuff deflected in. One thing I noticed, I don't know if this is a good take or not, Siprikov had quite a few highlights on there. He looked pretty good. Siplikov. I messed up his name. But yeah, Siplikov had quite a few highlights on there and looked pretty good. And the other thing I noticed, they don't really have any stick handlers on the team. Nobody that's really
creative.
good. Yeah, nobody who can, like, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking of, like, I know Connor McDavid is like one of a kind, right? But they don't have anybody who's taking the puck up the ice and stick handling between 2 or 3 guys and scoring a goal, right? Every goal that I saw was either a 2-on-1, a 1-on-1 with the goalie, or a cleanup in front of the net. That was literally everything. Those are all the highlights that I saw for their goals.
So
Sorokin.
Okay. So you realize that most teams don't have a Connor McDavid on there.
Okay, fair enough.
Stick handled through 2 or 3 guys. Like, are you talking about like NHL 25 or something like that?
Okay, well, I'm more so saying, like, okay, I feel like every team at least has one play like that a year where somebody stick handles through 2 or 3 guys and scores a goal. I didn't see any. And you would think that they would probably have that in the highlights, right?
Okay. Well, they don't. I will agree that they do not have anybody like that.
Okay. But that was the one thing I noticed. Lee was scoring a lot. Barzal had a couple goals. Horvat was scoring. Yeah. Just interesting stuff.
So your main observation is we didn't have like a whole bunch of creative players.
Real skillers. No. That's the one thing I noticed. I mean, maybe you could say Barzal, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's more so, he's not, would you say that he's as good a stick handler, or would you say it's more so that he's just fast and gets around people?
Who, Barzal?
Yeah. Or would you say he's a really good stick handler?
He's a good stick handler, and he in the past had really great edge work and was a really, really good skater. That was, his thing. Yeah. Great, creative. He's a creator. The only one we have on the roster right now. So, and when he was out last year, we didn't have anyone. So, yeah. But who was the author of that video package?
I don't know. I just looked up New York Islanders highlights from last season, and that was the first video that popped up. So it was the one that had the most amount of views.
Okay. No. I didn't know if it was put out by the Islanders, but when you're saying,
I don't think it was.
When you're saying that, Siplikov,
I just noticed him. His name was popping up a lot. He was getting assists and scoring goals. So that's all I'm saying. I noticed his name a lot. His name, okay, he was doing enough where his name stood out to me.
I'll just say, that it's fake news.
Okay.
I mean, so they look good in the highlights, right?
Oh yeah, they look great. I was like, damn, is this the same Islanders team that Grumpy keeps trashed on all the time? I was like, they look pretty good.
Well, like I said, even on crappy teams, someone has to score goals. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. So long story short. So is there anything else you picked up from your limited ability to watch the Islanders? Did anything else stand out in the highlights package?
I mean, it was really just goals. So it wasn't
no saves.
No, I mean, okay, they showed one where I think it was the Sorokin goal, honestly, was what it was. He made like 2 or 3 saves, and then I think he went to clear the puck, and it just dinked off the boards and went in.
Okay.
So that was really the only save package they had, I guess.
I'd like to give kudos to you for actually doing a little bit of homework before the season started, before preseason starts. So I'm going to give you a plus for that. But you were fooled. If you think the Islanders are good or Siplikov was good, he played himself from a top 6 forward spot to a bottom liner by the end of the year.
It's funny you mentioned that because he was out there with like Lee and them, and I was like, okay, it was like he must be like a top line guy. Then he must have been up there with the top line. And then you're like, no, he's like a 4th line player. Like he just grinder minutes now. I was like, oh, okay, well that is interesting. Did they show, like in the highlights, he looked like he was a guy who was up there all the time with the top line. So
did they show any of the multitude of offensive zone penalties that he took?
They did not. In fact, they did not show those. I think they did. It was. I looked up highlights. I probably should have looked up lowlights if I wanted to see those.
Did they show him skating at all?
I mean, they showed him passing and shooting.
So no skating.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, not him like skating around people. No, again, it was like 2-on-1s, 1-on-1 cleanup work. That was about it. Or passes, Yeah,
because he's not a great skater, and he just had an inordinate amount of offensive zone penalties that he took last year.
That's not
good. And
maybe
he'll be better this year, But I like him on the fourth line, honestly.
You just need to tell him, hey, we need the Siplikov from the highlight video,
From
right?
the highlight package, yeah.
Yeah. Where is it? Hey, I ordered this product and I didn't get it. I want a refund.
Okay. So you come out, you're a fan of Siplikov now? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he looked good to me.
Okay.
So from what I've seen so far, from the highlights, okay, granted, I don't have a extensive, background of watching him play. From the highlights, obviously, he's going to look good, but I just noticed his name popped up a lot. I was like, okay, it popped up enough for me to halfway remember it in my head.
Okay, that's fair.
We'll say that. We'll say that.
That's fair.
Bed and Blanket here says late again. I know, Grumpy's fault. Always grumpy. Oh man. SunX says Nader here says SunX, who scored the winning goal in Islanders' longest overtime? Do you know? Can you give me a time frame of when that happened, and then maybe I could just shoot out a random name and I might get lucky?
No.
You don't know when it happened?
It happened in 1990. Was it 1992? Long time ago.
I'm gonna say
against Washington Capitals.
I'm gonna say
just look it up.
Yashin.
You don't know
Yashin.
No, it wasn't Yashin.
Pekka.
No.
Okay.
No. It was before that.
Do you know who it was?
I know who it was. Look it up. Look it up. This should be something where you should be able to pull that up just like that.
Okay, well, I'm obviously not going to cheat.
Well, just say you're a failure. So far, you're 0 for 2 in questions today.
Cool. Well, here, let me pop another comment.
The Easter Miracle. Here's another one you won't be able to get. Bed Blanket says, SunX, who has and had the silkiest mitts of all time in Islander players? Okay, I'm going, that's an objective question. I will ask you, X, what does it mean?
Pat LaFontaine. That's what I told you, Grumpy. Pat LaFontaine.
I don't think you said Pat LaFontaine.
I absolutely did. Did you not hear me say him?
I thought you said Yashin and Pekka.
No, if you mix them both together, it sounds like Pat LaFontaine.
Okay. Okay. You still, so that's you're 0 for 2.
Yeah, I'm 0 for 2.
Your weekly test.
I'm 0 for 2. Not doing too hot.
Since the question that Bed and Breakfast is asking right now is, Bed and Blanket, I'm sorry, is asking right now is, who has the silkiest mitts of all time for an Islanders player? That's more of an objective
I'd say that's more of an opinion-based question.
Right.
I will ask you,
the question I will ask you is, what are silky mitts?
That's really good stick handling and shooting. Right?
Okay. I'll give you not shooting, so you don't get credit.
Or like stick handling.
Yeah. Puck handling.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you wear mitts, you wear the gloves.
All right. I'll give you that. I should only give you a half a point.
I said Tavares. Would you not argue that Tavares was one of the best?
Okay. Again, it's objective. The question was, what are silky mitts? That was the question.
It's stick handling. Now, Grumpy, who would you say had the silkiest mitts in Islanders history?
Subjective. I think there's a lot of guys who are really good.
Well, I'm just saying, in your opinion, who would you say had the best?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. The question's not for me. It's for you. This is for your education right here. And it's an objective question once again. Nick D says, Grumpy, Sonics, how you guys doing tonight? Update this new up with this new update for Barzal. Would you trade him? That leads us to one of our questions, one of our topics.
Yes. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Give me 1 second, Grumpy.
Might as well pull it up and put it up.
Yep. And then you can answer the question of, would you trade them?
I'd like to read the article first, and then we'll discuss. Okay. Matty Barzal injury update says he's 100% and he would ready to suit up if the Islanders had a game today. The full answer on rehab for the season. Injuries like this, you'll potentially never feel back to at 100%. But mentally, I'm at a point now where it doesn't really matter. If I'm feeling great, if maybe one day I'm a little sore or whatever, it is what it is. And I've got 6 more years left on my contract right now, and I'm fully committed I'm fully committed to just doing everything I can to be the best player I can be. When someone puts that out there, what does it say to you?
Concern.
Absolutely.
Absolute concern. You are not healthy. You are still hurt. And you're doing, you know what I think of when I hear him say that? Calvin Johnson, who was injured his entire career playing through injury and was never 100%.
He had
and retire
Calvin
early.
Johnson was never really hurt.
He had
Matt
ankle injuries.
Barzal. Matt Barzal, gosh darn it. His game is totally predicated on skating and edge work. With a fractured kneecap, he's not going to be the same. What percentage will he be? I have no idea. But the fact that he's sore one day or whatever, it is what it is. He's never going to be 100% again. That's problematic for the Islanders. He's talking about, well, I have 6 more years left on my contract. Yikes. I mean, maybe it'll be better when he plays a little bit he hasn't played in a while. So maybe, once he gets out there, he will feel a little bit better. But it sounds like he's sore. Maybe he's not as quick on other days. Maybe he doesn't have the jump he usually has. It's a problem. That's a red flag for me. That's a huge red flag for the Islanders.
Would you trade him?
I don't think he has any trade value right now.
You really don't think he has any?
6 years left, $9.15 million, and we don't know if he's healthy. What team is going to make a trade for him right now? Anybody who wants it, who's thinking about trading for him, would take a wait and see approach. No, you don't want to take on.
I know somebody else is taking a wait and see approach.
Talk about that in a minute too.
Yep.
But
yeah, I agree. No, you don't want to take a flyer on a guy like that, especially if the only thing I could think of is if a team is desperate and he shows any bit of skill and talent still throughout the regular season is trade deadline right before playoffs start, a team might look at getting him. Would you move him though at that point in time if he is movable?
If he shows he can play,
if he shows that if he's still okay, let's say he's not to the caliber of prime Barzal, right? But he still shows that he has some talent left or something left in the tank.
He's going to have something left in the tank. Can he play every day? Is he going to have maintenance days? Is he going to have to skip practice? Is he going to have to miss a game a week? We don't know. It tells me he's still sore. When you're playing and you're in pain, it could lead to other injuries too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as a former athlete yourself,
it opens you up. Exactly. You overcompensate for the injury that you have, which leaves you susceptible and vulnerable to injuring something else. Absolutely, you're 100% right on that. And happens all the time.
I'm sure the doctor said, hey, this is just the way it's going to be from here on.
Yeah, which very well could be.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be the same player he was. Will he be able to play center? I don't know. If it's a center, you got to do a lot more work than you do when you play on the wings. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Would I look to move him? I probably would. But like I said, he's got 6 years left on his deal. Who's taking that off your hand? I mean, if he comes out and he puts up, by trade deadline, he's got 80 points. Yeah, I'm going to bet he could be moved. But still,
would you move him though if he puts up 80 points?
No, I'd keep him then.
Even though he's susceptible to injury?
Well, we don't know. He has been injured the last couple of years. He has been injured recently. I mean, I just don't think the market's going to be there with 6 years left on his deal at 9+.
It'll be tough. It'll definitely be tough. It'll be tough. I agree with you.
Certainly no one's going to deal for him now. No one is going to make a trade for him now. No one.
I agree with that. So
the next oh my gosh. Okay. So next, who scored the OT goal to end the Easter epic in 1987?
Pat LaFontaine.
There you go. You don't get credit for it.
Look at me. Wow. That's two right now, Grumpy.
So far, you're 33%, which is a failure. Matthew S. says, separate your words in sentences, X. No enunciation.
Whoops.
Yeah. State of Survival says, prediction. We do not make the playoffs due to injuries. Do you agree with that, X?
I don't think we're going to make the playoffs due to talent.
There you go. That's my answer right there. That's my answer.
Although, I don't know. Siplikov, man. He could carry us to the promised land. We'll probably win a cup with him.
Well,
With the highlights he's putting up from last year, we're probably winning a cup.
okay.
Honestly, he might play so well they give us 2 cups in 1 year. They just give us next year's too.
Okay. Doubtful.
Yeah, I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
Nick D says, Sunx, who ended the Penguins dynasty in 1993? This is after the Penguins had won the Stanley Cup in 91 and 92. Who eliminated them in 93? And who scored the winning goal? What team eliminated them in 1993 in double overtime? Maybe it was single overtime.
This is before I was born.
What team eliminated the Pittsburgh
Montreal
Penguins?
Canadiens.
What type of podcast is this?
Oh, Islanders. The Islanders. There we go.
So that's a minus for you as well. Now you're 1 for 4. I mean, that was a layup question. Potential dynasty run, I should say. Actually, I thought that was Pittsburgh's best team, was that 93 team.
Better than the one with Crosby and Letang and
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Matthew West says
Malcolm.
Gillies. I think Gillies was captain. Potvin, yes. Eddie Westfall, yes. Pat Flatley, yes. John Tavares, yes. Those were 5
I got
guys.
Tavares.
Yeah, well, you still get a 0.
Okay, thanks.
You could name 5.
That's
I would even if you had named 3, I might have given it to you, but you weren't even close. Matthew S. adds, Kaprizov turned down $8 million, actually $16.5 million a year extension from Minnesota.
Yes, and we have that. I will put that up right now, Grumpy. Hold on 1 second.
Yes, something else we wanted to talk about today.
Yep.
Figure we jump right on it. When you see somebody turn down, you're going to have to make it a little bigger.
I can.
Okay.
That good?
There you go. It's better.
Okay.
Kirill Kaprizov turns on an 8-year, $128 million contract, according to Frank Cervelli. That would make it AAV is $16.5 million.
Well, it says NHL history booth in terms of AAV, $16 million in total dollars, surpassing Alexander Ovechkin's 13-year, $124 million deal signed in 2008.
So they're just talking total dollars?
It says that contract, which the Athletic had previously reported was the offer Minnesota would make, would have been the largest in NHL history, both in terms of AAV, $16 million in total dollars, surpassing Alexander Ovechkin's 13-year, $124 million deal signed in 2008.
As an FYI, that is $16.5 million per, is it not?
They're stating it as $16 million
64.
in terms
64 no, maybe it is 64. Where's a calculator when you need it, X?
Hold on.
80 and then 64. 8 into, isn't it 8 times 8? What's 64? Isn't it 8? No, it's 24.
8 times 8 is 64.
Okay, so it's not 64. So it's 80 and then 48. Okay, so that is 16 million per. I was wrong.
Oh, shame him. Everybody shame him in the chat, in the comments. Everybody shame Grumpy.
What does it say to you? What does it say to you?
He wants to win.
Well,
I mean, you're getting the most amount of money ever offered to a player, and you still don't want to sign back there. You want to leave. You don't want to stay there, right?
Right.
Let's be honest. He probably wants to go to a winning team.
Or he just wants to make more money.
You think that somewhere else is going to offer more than the most ever in an NHL contract?
If he hits free agency next year with the cap going up another, $8-9 million, absolutely. He'll make more money than that. But he's not going to get 8 years.
No. So is he actually making more money?
He's not even going to get 7 years. He's only going to get 6 years. And maybe he wants a shorter term deal so he can hit the lottery again. I mean, that's the only thing I can think is he.
So you think it's, I guess here, we'll have the same conversation that we had about Micah Parsons, Grumpy. How about that? So let's say he decides to go to a team that's a winner for less money. Then what?
He didn't. Micah Parsons went to a team where he made more money a year. Instead of 40, he's made $47 million.
He made less money overall, but it's okay.
No, he's making more money overall.
He made less money
when
overall.
When they tell you it's not about money, it's about money. It's always about money. I don't begrudge the guys.
Overall.
I do not begrudge the guys making as much money as they can. He wants to make more money. And if it's on a shorter term deal so he can hit it again in a couple of years, like Micah Parsons did, where he's betting on himself, that's what they do. Because guess what? Salaries only go up. They never go down. So maybe he only wants a 5-year deal. Who knows? But he's going to get paid. He's absolutely going to get paid somewhere. What it says to me is I don't know if he doesn't want to be in Minnesota. He says he loves it there, blah, 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 blah. Who knows? Who cares? He's somebody that the Islanders, I think, would absolutely be interested in if he hits the free agent market. I absolutely think they have a large Russian contingent on the team. Your buddy Siplikov, Sorokin, that piece of shit Romanov, they're all Russian guys. You have Prokhorov, who's a Russian player, the guy who was drafted this year.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm happy as an Islander fan. This makes me feel good.
That you potentially get him.
I'd love to take a run at him.
Do you think the Islanders would, though?
I think they should.
Do they have the cap space too?
You can, yeah. They have that piece of shit, Anders Lee and JG Pajot coming off the books. You don't have to re-sign half the guys on this team. You can move other guys off at the deadline. You can free up cap space if he's truly going to be a UFA. You absolutely can move cap space at the deadline. Absolutely. So, I mean, they can absolutely fit him under the cap. Do they want to? I don't know. They should. He's a marquee player. He's really, really good.
Yeah.
He had some injury concerns, though, last couple of years. Last year he missed, I think, 40-something games. He's had other years where he's been injured as well. So that's something you have to think about. But he would be a marquee guy. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, he'd be an absolute top target for certain.
Big signing. If the Islanders would get him, that's easily the biggest free agent they would ever have signed.
Would you say in their history?
Absolutely. Andrew Ladd has been the biggest of all time.
Yeah.
And he sucked at the end. Even at the beginning. The reactionary signing of Andrew Ladd because they lost Okposo, Nielsen, and somebody else. I forget. Matt Carbone says they won't trade Barzal. Well, I think anything should be on the table, no?
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I would be open to offers. I'd always listen. You don't have to accept it.
Yeah.
It takes nothing to listen to offers.
How many untouchables on this Islander team do you think there are? True untouchables.
True untouchables, one.
Who is it?
Schaefer.
That's it.
The guy you just drafted #1 overall.
That's
the only guy that would not trade off.
100%.
Everybody else is up for grabs.
No one, and I'm not saying you're looking to have a fire sale, but
no, but I mean, you should at least always be open to offers. You never know what somebody's willing to offer, right?
Yep.
I mean, somebody could offer, the kitchen sink, and then you're like, it's a no-brainer, right?
Or you could ask for the kitchen
immediately.
Or you could ask for the kitchen sink, and if they say yes, say yeah.
If they say no, all you wasted was time, right?
Just phone call. I mean, as a stupid bald GM sitting back there practicing your pickleball game, that's all you do anyway. So yeah, I have no problem. I mean, I don't think you're going to see a robust market for Matt Barzal. Not now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll definitely depend on how he returns from that injury.
Okay.
And then Big Islanders fan says Pat LaFontaine.
Yes. Okay. Son X, who in your family resembles an older looking Lanny McDonald?
All right, so I got him pulled up here. This is him, right?
That's him.
Oh, God, man. I would say probably the closest person to him out of our family, I would say would probably be TJ when he had his mustache.
Well, I'm just going to say when people put that up, they're taking shots at TJ. So that should just be your go-to answer.
Okay, that's what I was going to say was TJ when he had that mustache. They have a similar hairline.
Very true. They do.
I can't really talk much, but
it's true. Matthew Carbone says Barzal is good for his 15 goals. That's about it. Well, he's not a goal scorer. He should shoot more. He's got a great shot. It's just not in his DNA. There are times when he shoots the puck more, when they're consciously shoot the puck. But if they're not harping on it, he's going to defer and make the pass. That's just the way it is. Sorry. Doug Waite was the same way in his career.
Why do you think he doesn't want to shoot more?
I just don't think it's just not who he is. He's more of a creator guy. It's just what he is. Some guys are just stand in front of the net guys like lumps of shit and try to deflect pucks in. Some guys are, snipers from the outside. Some guys just like to dish.
Fair enough.
Right?
I don't know. I just always wondered. I've always wondered that with players, like why they would rather create or, pass as opposed to take the shot.
Maybe
you think he's not confident in himself?
No. Maybe they're better at that. And if you have yourself a guy like an Ovechkin type, your little friend, Ovechkin, Nick Backstrom didn't score a boatload of goals either, but he had a hell of a lot of assists. Knew where his bread was buttered.
Yeah.
He could shoot the puck too, but, he was a creator. Matthew S. says think you're reading too much into those comments talking about Matt Barzal. I don't. Not at all. Not at all.
We'll see.
Dale S. mentions hell no on a league extension.
So I can pull that up right now. You can go over that, Grumpy.
Yes, the most distressing piece of Islander news.
Yeah,
Stefan Rosner,
I agree.
Tweeted this out. Said Matthew Darche tells Pierre LeBrun that he'll be taking a wait-and-see approach when it comes to Anders Lee's next deal. Lee is entering the final season of a 7-year deal, which carries a $7 million AAV. Okay. He's going to be 36 years old. He moves like a statue. And he's finished as a player. Why would you re-sign Anders Lee to this team?
Because he's only a couple years away from getting into the Long Island retirement home.
He's already there. He's been playing last number of years like he's been retired. Last year, he had a bounce back first half, and he looked good. They should have moved him then.
Yeah.
He had value.
Yeah.
Second half, he turned back to what he's been the last number of years, which is nothing. Useless. Average. Below average, actually.
Do you think a team would look to get him at the deadline?
Yes.
That's when you move him.
That's when you move him.
For preparation for next year's draft. That's when you move him. No point to keep a guy who's 36.
Absolutely not. Particularly on a team that's in a rebuild.
Yes.
You don't need 36-year-olds in rebuilds. You absolutely don't. Someone else can be captain.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't need a statue on your team. I'm sorry you don't. And he would have value, particularly in the playoffs, where you need to score dirty goals, standing in front of the net and taking a whole lot of punishment and deflecting pucks. That's what Anders Lee does best. It's where he's been at his best the last, 10 years, maybe since the beginning of his career. That's what he does best. In the playoff, how would you like a team like Florida to have him standing in front of the net deflecting pucks? Doesn't Tkachuk do that now?
Yeah. But Tkachuk brings something else to the table too.
Yeah, he's got much more snarl.
Yeah.
And he's more clutch too. He's better.
Yes.
Sam Bennett. What about Sam Bennett? Same thing.
Better than him.
Right? These guys not afraid to go to the dirty areas. Anders Lee, for all the negative that I spew about him being below average, whatever, not afraid to go in the dirty areas. Gets kudos for that.
Yeah.
His skill set is invaluable come playoff time when everything gets tighter, everything gets more condensed. They're not calling as many penalties where you have to be tough physically to score goals. That's where he's at his best. That's a guy you move at the deadline. I don't care if he wants to sign back, or I could care less. I don't care what Matthew Darche says. If he signs him back, he should be fired the next day. Absolutely fired the next day.
Termination immediately?
Immediately. J.G. Pajot, another guy. 30.
Now, Grumpy, I got a question. Why don't you fill out an application to be the next GM? We get a movement. We can get a petition signed for you.
I have too much hair. They would not accept me.
Oh, you can shave it off.
I could, but I choose
blend
not
in.
To.
No?
I could, but I choose not to. I don't want to get rid of the Lanny McDonald look.
Oh, then you need to grow out the stash.
Yeah. Well, I could do that too. But same thing with JG Pajot, going to be 33 years old,
Move
third
him.
line center. You move guys like that at deadline. Another guy who will be a piece that will be wanted at the deadline.
Yeah.
Lamoriello refused to move him the last number of years, even though he had offers. Dumb. Load up for next year's draft. Those guys should be prime trade chips. That's what you're looking for to continue the rebuild. That's what you're looking for. You can add ham and eggers like that for a quarter of the price and slide them into your lineup. You don't want to carry players like that. It's disheartening for me to read that he'd take a wait and see approach. You know what he's just say? Maybe that's GM speak for, yeah, we're not signing him back.
It could be.
It could be.
Which honestly, we're hoping, right?
It does say that he's in no hurry to re-sign him to a deal.
I'll say one thing: you never want to, at least as a coach, and especially talking to the media, show your hand on what you're planning on doing with a player ever. And it's never good or bad. Like, okay, he's not going to come out and just be like, yeah, there's no shot in hell that we're re-signing him. You never want to say that, especially in front of the media. You don't want to say that.
It doesn't. You don't even need to say anything. I don't know if LeBron asked him the question or if he volunteered the answer. I don't know.
Well, we can.
But the whole thing is, anybody who's on the final year of a deal in his walk year, unless it's like a stud, you don't say anything. You don't even. Oh well, yeah. And he really didn't say anything, so it don't bother me too much.
We can go ahead and play the video, Grumpy, if you want.
Oh, look at Stefan Rosner with his little Islanders cap. I like it. Let's see
Ready?
what he said. Run it.
In the hospital, so the Islanders were doing their. I guess it's the week or the day when they go visit all the kids in the hospital, and it was the week before Christmas, and she ended up getting me a Anders Lee signed jersey, but obviously I didn't know at the time. So she sends me a picture that she's with Horvat, Barzal, and Lee.
Probably cleans his car with it now.
I'm like, oh, it's so cool. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, are you talking to them? Whatever. So then a couple minutes later, I end up getting a FaceTime from her, and I answer, and it's all three of them on FaceTime. So I'm like, all right, this is something like you don't expect ever. So I'm talking to all of them, and Anders Lee is just saying like, oh, you're going to love your Christmas gift, like best one you're going to get. So it was fun. It was such a funny moment to like see them, outside of the rink and kind of interacting a little bit,
Okay, so as I said earlier, Grumpy, I thought that video had absolutely nothing to do with it.
That's fine.
Like
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I bet you he was tremendously disappointed in his Christmas present when he found out that it was an Anders Lee signed jersey. I know I'd be disappointed, number one. And number two is he probably uses that thing just to like dry up his car. This is probably what he does with it now.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't matter, X. Okay. It doesn't matter. Let's go back to comments. Matthew Carbone says, I think he'll be back to 100% in October. Talking about Matt Barzal. I don't think he's ever going to be 100%. He pretty much told you right there that he's not going to be 100%. He pretty much told you that. Yep. We're going to have pain. Some days are better than others. Just is what it is. Well, that means you're not going to be 100%. And believe me, an injury like that is not going to get better the older you get.
No.
Those fractured knee, those are tough. A lot of tendons, a lot of nerves there. Big Islander fan says, you're right, Grumpy. He could never be the same. Yeah, he's telling you that I would 100% play. He didn't say he feels 100%. He said he would 100% play. There's a difference. Don't smoke crack. I agree. Do not smoke crack. Says, you can't try Barzy this year. He's going to need at least this season to recover and get up to the speed. Plus, he's got a lot of years left. No sense dumping him now. If he's at 80% this year and comes back
next year
and is 80% again, then you shop him.
Yeah. I mean,
no one's taking him at that value.
What year in his contract do you think that they would take him? Could you move him realistically?
It all depends on his performance. He makes an awful lot of money.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying with the salary cap going up every year, right?
Okay. 80% of Matt Barzal is what, a 50-point-a-year scorer for $9.15 million? Nope, I don't see it.
Okay. OMG, easy question, LOL. Yeah, I know.
Sorry. And here's the thing, that's not an injury that it's going to feel better than it is now. It just is what it is. He's going to have knee pain.
Yep.
Just is.
Constantly for the rest of his life. He will.
Wicked 50 Cal says the Islanders documentary showed genuine disappointment in not getting Hagens, which made Aitchison and Eklund seem like second best. Can't believe they showed it.
That's stupid.
Hey, okay, here's the thing.
They made the right decision.
Absolutely. I think Hagen said he wanted to play for the Islanders. He didn't give a shit if he played for the Islanders. Nope. He's talking now like Boston's the only franchise.
He's Adam Sandler's best friend.
Yeah, right. He's a Bruins fan, I guess.
Yep.
So, I mean, just him gushing over Boston and their history and stuff like that. He's a carpetbagger.
Oh, absolutely. He says
I know the fans would have loved it if he would have said that here. They were, he doesn't give a shit about that.
He is like how wrestlers are, right? When they visit a new city.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the greatest city of all time.
Cheap
right?
pop.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what he's doing.
And like I said, I saw him play last year. He's all right.
But you know what that tells me? He's a phony.
That's right. He's a phony.
He's a phony baloney.
He's a phony. That's right. He tells you what you want to hear.
Yep. Exactly.
Right? Oh my gosh. I just want to play for the Islanders. I dreamed about it the time I was born. Boston. Whoa, man, this history. I played up here last year. This is like home to me.
I loved watching them as when I was a kid. Oh,
just
terrible.
Stop.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't care that he does that. Islander fans being duped that he wanted to be there. No.
He never did.
Didn't happen.
He wanted to go whatever team was going to draft him.
Right. John Tavares never said he wanted to play for Toronto until he left. And then
he absolutely wanted to play with Toronto.
Sure he did, but he wasn't stupid enough to say it.
No, why?
You want to know why this guy wanted to play for the Islanders? Because they had the #1 draft pick. Yeah. That's why he wanted to play for the Islanders.
Yep. And he wanted to be drafted #1.
Yeah. Exactly. And he slipped to 7. Why? Because he ain't that damn good.
Because he's a liar.
The pussy.
Matthew says, fire him. Ha ha. Oh, man. I'm on the hot seat, Grumpy.
Matthew S says, Sunex, go read up. My God, that was my first year watching. Well, this will be X's first year.
My first year watching. So I should get a lot better as the season progresses.
Have a lot more.
We'll have a lot more
about the Islanders' first year, 2025.
You know what we should do? Like, have you ever seen, and this is pretty much with all presidents, like throughout their 4 years in office, how much they age? We should do a progression throughout the season.
Job,
what? Oh, no. I know. I was saying we should do a progression throughout the season of how much I get, more and more and more fed up with the team. Because I'm super optimistic and super eager.
You are very super optimistic. We like that.
It'll be fun to watch my soul just like slowly get crushed. Just my hopes and dreams get crushed for the team as the season goes on. I just thought it would be funny.
I agree. Wicked 50 Cal says, if Kaprizov makes it to free agency, I firmly believe he'll be an Islander or a Ranger. Well, if he's going to be an Islander or a Ranger, he will play for the Rangers.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Even if the Islanders are in a better position for future?
I don't care. No one wants to play for the Islanders. They can play for the Rangers. Rangers get anyone they want. What should Minnesota do? If they get close to the deadline.
Trade him. Do what the Islanders did not. Learn from the Islanders' mistake, right? Trade his ass.
If they get close to the deadline and he's not signing the extension, you move him.
Yeah, we're moving you.
Or if you give him look what Colorado did last year. And then what Carolina did with Rantanen. Carolina traded for Rantanen, I think it was in December. And they offered him a big deal. He said, no, I'm not doing it. So they moved him again at the deadline. Yep. Because you don't want to get caught with your hand,
Don't be a Islanders with Tavares 2.0.
Just if a guy doesn't want to sign there, don't say, oh, I want to wait. Well, you can wait somewhere else. We're moving you.
You can wait till the day of the trade or till the trade deadline's over. And then if you're not signed right before it ends, then we're moving you.
Yep.
Then Matthew says, Isles have the Russian connection.
They do. They do. But if it comes down to the Rangers and the Islanders probably going to lose out. Panarin still plays for the Rangers.
Yeah.
He's a Russian.
Then Shesterkin too, right?
Shesterkin, yeah.
Oh, look at me.
Look at you. You know more about the Rangers. Oh, my gosh.
I'm TJ 2.0.
Big Islander fan says, who was the player who was injured on the Islanders and the 1993 players from a cheap shot by Dale Hunter?
Oh.
That was the last live game that your grandfather ever went to see.
Oh, God. I know what happened because this is what killed them and they couldn't end up winning was because he went out. He's the best player, right? During the playoffs that time period. Dang it, I cannot remember his name.
He was the best player. He was the best player on the team at
On the
that time.
team, yeah. I can't remember, but I do remember it. He hurt his was it his arm that he hurt?
Shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember he was like holding it like that. He got checked in the boards on a cheap shot after he scored the goal, right?
Right. And
I
it was
cannot remember who it was, but I do remember the play. I do remember the
it was
play.
like 5 or 10 seconds after the goal was scored.
And he got run.
And then
Yeah.
Dale Hunter said, "Oh, I thought the play was still going on."
He's lying.
He's just
lying
a lying
sack.
piece of shit.
See,
He's just a lying piece of shit, honestly.
Tone the Buckies would love
it. Pierre Turgeon.
Pierre Turgeon. Okay. I do remember the play. Could not remember the player's name, though. That should be like 0.5.
It's 0.
Yeah, the playoffs. Said sorry, playoffs. Yep.
Matthew Carbone says, harder question. Oh my gosh. Who did Rich Pallon destroy with a devastating check? Now, X, I believe you were listening to the show at this time. We've talked about this. It was against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think it was in the first period. He laid this guy out, and it set the tone for the rest of the game.
I'm going to say.
And the player was never the same after that either. The guy he hit. He hit him with a solid body check, and he landed face first on the ice. Crushed his face, just destroyed it.
I can't think of it. Who
Kevin Stevens.
Never would have got that in a million years. Never would have got that in a million years.
JP says, please don't tell me the Islanders are thinking about extending Lee.
Well, wait and see.
Okay. I think it's GM speak for I'm not answering that question.
I think so too.
But the expectation should be that you're moving on from Anders Lee. And if they just say, hey, Anders Lee, I'll tell you what, we're going to move you at the deadline. If you want to come back on a 1-year deal at vet minimum next year as a free agent, feel free. We're not giving you any serious money and 0 term. And you know what Anders Lee will do? Even though he's a dyed-in-the-wool Islander his whole life, he'll sign with the team who gives him the most money. That's where he'll go. He's not going to take less money, vet minimum, to come back and play for the Islanders. Oh, like Zach Parise said he would do. And I don't blame the players. They could say whatever they want. They're not going to sacrifice their financial stability because the fans want them to play for that team.
Only one player I ever knew of in the history of sports would do that.
Only one. That's why he's the greatest of all time. That's right. Begged his team to keep him. Begged him. All he wanted was the same as like the 10th highest paid quarterback in the league. That's it. And Belichick said no. Only wanted to offer him $14 million a year. Yeah. Okay. Sure. That's right. We're talking about the people's champion, Tom Brady.
That's right. That's right.
Matthew Sklarov says, I would say Sorokin is also untouchable. No, I'm not saying that.
Here's my thing. I would hear out anybody's offer. The only player I would not offer up would be the guy that you just drafted #1 overall. Anybody else, I would like to hear what their offers are, because you have some team might offer you just something absolutely insane. But if you just completely turn down the offer, you never know what it was, right? At least hear it out. All it takes, as we said, is time and a phone call.
And what's the thing the warden always says to you, X?
You're only worth what somebody's willing to pay.
Well, no, something else she says to you. You don't get
what you don't ask for. That's true.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
That's very true.
So if you put like a high asking price on somebody and they say, yeah, we'll meet it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, great.
Anders Lee, if they offered me a used puck bag, here you go. See you later.
Almighty.
All we need.
Used puck bag?
That's it. Used. Not even brand new. Used.
Not even brand new. Will there be pucks in it, though?
The zipper could be torn on the top.
Would it be filled with pucks?
No. Just the bag.
Empty too. Oh my God.
Empty bag.
That's really nothing.
Nothing. Less than nothing.
He's not even worth the rubber.
Big Islander fan says, I would doubt it, Matthew. That was devastating and clean. I don't know what he's referring to. JP says that's exactly right. Everyone who's been on this roster last year and before can be traded at the right price. Yep. True. Underachieving team with if I'm looking at guys I wouldn't look to trade right now, they're all younger guys. Any of the older guys, for the right price, they're all. I mean,
well, you want to see what the young guys can develop into.
I've been hard on Simon Holmstrom, but I wouldn't just throw him in a deal. He's young, he's affordable, and he showed he can play a little bit.
Yeah,
that's a guy worth keeping for the right now. Big Islanders fan. Who is that guy who likes to stand in front of the net? Bob Nevin or Anders Lee? What's the difference is what I say. Bob Nevin was an old center, played for a myriad of NHL teams.
Yep.
Drew says, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Yeah, it was shameless today.
Yep.
Shameless. Matthew Carbone says, yes, at the deadline with Pajot. Absolutely.
Yep.
Anyone who's on expiring deals, if you're a team that's not a true Stanley Cup contender, you move. This should just be GM 101. If you're an older team who's not in contention for, a realistic shot to win the Stanley Cup or even make the playoffs like the Islanders last number of years, anyone whose contract is up at the end of it, you move. Every single one. And if they want to come back on a lesser deal, more power to them. We're getting assets for those finished up assets.
Yep.
That's why it is. Big Islander fan says, God bless his soul. True. Big Islander fan also says, come on, Son X. I gave you
a layup.
Yeah,
I know. I failed.
History. I mean, I think
history's tough. We should do, I don't know, something else, something that I can get.
I think we're going to just, I don't, unless it's history from, I'm not even going to say Tavares enough because you didn't even watch then.
I watched a little bit.
I'll bet you couldn't name 5 players who played for the Islanders when Tavares was here.
During that time period?
Probably not.
Grabner, I remember, was on the team. Matt Martin was on the team.
Okay.
Oh God. They had Tavares. Barzal was on the team with Tavares.
1 year. Yeah. Okay.
That's still 3. Counts. Still counts.
3.
Johnny Boychuk, was he on the team?
Johnny Boychuk was on the team.
Okay. That's 4.
Who was his defense partner? You remember his defense partner?
Oh God. Was it Cal Clutterbuck?
Well, Cal Clutterbuck was on the teams too. Also, he was not his defense partner. He was a winger on the 4th line.
Cal Clutterbuck,
part of the identity line. Do you know? Do you know who the members?
He's
of the
the smaller guy. I can't remember his name. He's a smaller guy, right?
Do you remember who the members of the identity line are?
No.
You've already named 2 of them.
Okay. She didn't even know that I named 2 of them. Oh God, he was a little. I remember he was the one. There was some little shorter guy. I remember he ended up he got traded. Shoot, I can't remember to which team.
It doesn't matter. You're wrong.
I got 5. I got 5 though.
Yes, you did. Nick D says, Grumpy, if you have time, you should check out the Spittin' Chicklets podcast with Pierre Turgeon. Pierre's portion starts in the 2nd hour, so you don't have to torture yourself with bitchinette. That's the latest episode? I will try to check that out. Just let me know, Nick D, if you could pop it into the chat, what episode that was, or send X a link. On our Islanders Fans United.com page.
Yep.
Nick D says, smash that like button. Please do. And always, hey, love the show. Even if you hate it, hit the like button. Yep. We don't care.
Hit the like, comment, everything. Turn on notifications. Subscribe.
He says, how is TJ doing? He's doing very well. Thank you.
Yep. He's doing good.
Nader Fari says,
ooh,
who will be the next captain?
Interesting. Grumpy, do you have any takes on this?
Bo Horvat.
You think Bo Horvat will be the next captain?
Yes.
So you'd say he's like the next biggest leader on the team?
No, he really wants the job.
He wants the captain seat?
Mm-hmm. He was also a captain in Vancouver, I believe.
Okay, so he has experience then.
And I always think he should be the best player on your team. Schaefer's too young. So I would think Barzal. I think they should have given Barzal the captaincy years ago. They stuck with below average Anders Lee.
I don't know about. I guess this is more so like my take when it comes to, I guess, soccer, right? I don't think that it should be given to the best player on the team. I think it should be given to whoever's the most like a leader on your squad and who's going to get your team to rally the most, right? Not just the best player. I don't think it should just be ordained to whoever the best player is, right? I think it's whoever shows the most leadership should get that captaincy.
Usually the team votes on who the captain should be.
Yeah.
I remember, it's an old story. When Joe Namath was playing for the Jets, he was pretty much a wild out there guy, party guy, big time. So they wanted to, they didn't feel they could go as far as they could with him. until they made him captain. And Joe Namath said that was the greatest honor of his career, was being named captain. And John Schmidt, who was a center, mentioned that, yeah, we made him captain because we thought it would calm him down a little bit. It's not like we thought he was the best leader on the team. We thought it would focus him more. And it did. It worked. Weave Eubank said that we
you got to carry yourself a little differently, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Very true.
Yeah. Got to be a little bit more professional. You're the one that people look at. Yeah. To me, it's always whoever shows the most leadership. I don't know. That's kind of how I've always felt about it.
I just think it's different in each sport.
Yeah.
Drew says, seems like this whole wait and see thing kind of reminds me of, Andersley will treat you with class, but your ass is getting traded. Well, that should be what it is.
That's great, honestly.
Yep. He should have. That's what it should be. And that's what I'm hoping. He didn't want to come out and say, yeah, we're moving him at the deadline.
And no coach in their right mind is ever going to say that behind closed doors to the team, let alone to the media. They're not doing that. They're never doing that.
I mean, it's just something fun for us to talk about today.
Yeah.
Because Darce just happened to throw it out there. Yeah. And, hey, we'll do a brown check mark on that. No problem. Yeah. Drew also adds, because there's no way this team is making any sort of playoffs this year. Think about the team that started last year and starting this year. You've lost Noah Dobson and you've lost Brock Nelson, and you didn't replace either one. Your team was not a playoff team, not even close last year. It's not like we have a whole influx of young players, or we had a whole influx of young players last year who developed and got better as the year went on. We're still a collection of older players. And we're just starting to load up our pipeline now.
What if
this team is not going to be better this year?
What if we are trying to tank for the draft?
I'm all for that. 100%.
What if that's the intention? They don't want to admit it. They don't want to say that they're tanking for it, because then
they're not going to say it.
Yeah, because you'd obviously, I'd assume it's probably kind of like with the NFL, right? If it was very noticeable that you're tanking games and you're trying to lose on purpose, they'd probably reprimand you for that.
They're not going to reprimand anybody in any league.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No.
But obviously you don't want it known, especially to fans, because nobody's going to show up to the games if you're intentionally trying to lose. So,
Big Islander fan says Bill Belichick not signing Brady was the beginning of the end for good old Bill. He was exposed. Okay. It's funny you mentioned that, because I was thinking that this week. If Tom Brady didn't sign with Tampa, because him signing with Tampa and taking that lowly franchise to a Super Bowl win the next year is truly an incredible thing for a guy who was 43 years old at the time.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Truly, that's why he's the greatest of all time. What would have happened to the Patriots if he signed back with the Patriots?
They would have sucked.
They would have been better than they were.
They would have been better than they were, correct.
They were not winning a Super Bowl.
No.
Because Belichick had neglected the franchise and neglected the team by not picking the right players the last 4 or 5 years. It's why the team went downhill.
Would you say his downfall was when he did not start Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl?
Well, I think that hurt him in the eyes of the team.
Yeah.
Because when your credo is we always do what's best for the team, benching your best defensive player in the Super Bowl is not what's best for the team.
I agree.
And I think he lost players with that. You lose players. Brady said he didn't even realize until the middle of the second quarter. He said, Malcolm, what are you doing over here? And Malcolm Butler played one play, I think, on a punt.
It's even in the documentary, everybody was like, why the hell is he not playing? In the documentary that they did on the team, everybody had no idea. And Malcolm Butler to this day, he's like, I still don't know why it wasn't played. He's like, nobody gave me an answer.
He knows.
He does know. He does know.
He knows. We don't know. He knows.
Yeah.
There's rumors of, he berated Steve Belichick, that other Nepo baby.
Shocker. He's a coach of the University of Chapel Hill now. That's crazy. I wonder how that happened.
He's a Nepo baby.
He absolutely is.
But even though they won the Super Bowl the next year, they weren't the same team. They just weren't. And then, in 2019, which is last year there, I remember they were 8-0. And Brady was like, man, I had no weapons. That's when they had N'Keal Harry there. I didn't know weapons, just like for years and years. They never gave him any weapons on offense.
And he always took less money and they wouldn't sign
Always took less money. And then the Crafts pocketed that money. They did not invest back in the team. It's like that's why I don't blame athletes for getting as much as they can. I don't. Their careers are incredibly short. Get what you can, fellas. And Bill Belichick has absolutely been exposed. He's never, I don't think, maybe 1 year he's had a winning record without Brady. I think they were 10-7 or 9-7 1 year.
Brady is
Mac
the
Jones
goat.
was quarterback. But yeah. Again, players win games, coaches lose them. Big Islander fan says, I'm glad you remember Bob Nevin, Grumpy. You're very knowledgeable. I remember playing
Grumpy.
for the North Stars and the Rangers. Bob Nevin.
Grumpy knows a lot. Grumpy is a plethora of knowledge.
Useless information.
Useless information. Yes, that is very true. But plethora nonetheless.
Drew says the youth movement starts at the 2026 deadline. I'd be shocked if otherwise, from what I've heard out of Gil Martin on his podcast. I don't think Gil has any insight. Not that he doesn't have any insight, but I don't think he has any, fingers on the team. But 100%, that's when the rebuild that's when it should be. We're looking to load up, like I've been saying, on next year's draft. Get yourself 3-4 first-round picks in a deep draft. Then, because not everyone's going to pan out, like Cole Eisman won't pan out.
But at least you have more. What is it saying?
More kicks at the can, X.
Kicks at the can. That's it. That's what I was trying to say.
It matters. Even if you don't get the McKenna kid, you know what? That's okay.
They're not going to. He will be a Penguin.
Maybe we'll get, 4 guys. Maybe get one in the top 10. Maybe one at 14. You could package some picks, move up if there's somebody you really like. The team still needs young prospects for all the years when Lamoriello pulled the Belichick and just gutted the farm system. Need that. Dale S. says Letty. That was
Lazy Letty. I do remember his
Lazy
nickname.
Letty.
Lazy Letty. I do remember.
Johnny Boychuk's defense partner.
Gotcha. Okay.
Drew adds also the Athletic ranked our prospects 9th out of 30 teams recently, which is a big step up from 25th last year. I think they think highly of Schaefer, Eklund, and Aitchison.
Yes, we covered that. I think not last podcast,
2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yep. We spoke extensively on that. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Ryan Richards says Grumpy is going down this week in fantasy football. Well, I will say I was perfect in all my fantasy leagues last week. I got trounced in every single one. Not beaten, just destroyed.
Yeah, I got obliterated in every fantasy league
It was a bad week
last week as well.
But Ryan, you're going down this week, my friend. Ryan Richards says, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Drew says next year we'll have a top 3 to 5 prospect pool, which is amazing. That we can only hope.
Yep.
We can only hope. Ryan Richards says, got a new couch today. I'm excited for sleep tonight. You should try sleeping in a bed, Ryan. Matthew West says, Turgeon's conversation was good. Talked about Patrick Watt and his gripe with Mario Tremblay. That's another big, I don't know if you remember that, X. I'm sure you do not. When Patrick Watt was a pissy little bitch.
Oh, I do remember this. Hold on. He said he would never play for the Canadians again because they pulled him from the game. They pulled him from the game.
They pulled him from the game. They left him in the game, and I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he gave up a shitload
9 goals.
Yeah, yeah, and he said I'd never play for this organization again. That I do remember him saying that,
and he did not.
Yep.
They traded him to Colorado, and it resurrected his career and made them a Stanley Cup winner.
Yep.
Mario Vargas, Horvat is the team lawyer. Exactly. He's politicking for the captain job. There's a reason why Vancouver didn't win shit when he was there. And I like Bo Horvat. I really do. But they were kind of better when he left. Mario Vargas adds, Barzal sounded more like a leader than Lee after the Islanders' playoff losses. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a guy I wouldn't mind getting the captaincy.
You know what? I don't
especially if he is a leader.
I don't think he's a cul-de-sac guy.
That's the mentality they need. They don't need a cul-de-sac guy.
Absolutely, they do not.
You need somebody who's going to lead your team. When when the going gets tough, they're going to be there to push the rest of the team to get through that shit.
Very true. Mario Vargas says, what bugs me about the Dobson trade is that the feeling I get from Darce traded Dobson for the package that gave him the best chances to draft Higgins. I agree.
Probably.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
The fact that he took, and here's the thing, Emil Henneman, 4th liner. Islander fans are going to like him because he's a 4th liner. Islander fans have always identified with 4th liners. You should have gotten David Reinbacher as a right shot defenseman who could potentially maybe take over a spot on the right side, since we don't have any of them in the farm system, for Dobson in a couple of years. That's what you should have done instead of a fourth line guy. Don't need more fourth liners. You need more high level players. And the contract that Dobson signed is going to look like a steal in 2 years. I mean, $9.5 million is nothing for a good defenseman, just nothing. Big Guy on the Fan says, if you want to tank the season, then you'd have to trade Sorokin.
I don't think you need to trade him. Just sit him.
Like Milbury did with Luongo, and you want to pay him a bonus.
Yeah, right.
Nader Ferrari. I'm just going to say Nader. Sorry. I don't want to get your name wrong. Sunnex, do you know who scored 50 goals or more for 9 seasons for the Islanders?
For 9 seasons?
9 seasons.
Mike Bossy.
Mike Bossy. Ding, 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 X.
I just named whoever was. You guys mentioned that he was a really good goal scorer. So I was like, let me put out the best goal scorer I know. I've heard from the past. So.
The only year he did not score 50 or more goals was his last year, when he didn't play the whole year because of back injury, and that ended his career. I think he had 38 his last year. Something like that. I don't even remember.
I knew that. I knew that one.
Yeah. Imperial Rising says, Sunx, it's Grumpy trivia time. Grumpy, what rule change in the last 30 years absolutely changed the game? Which game are we talking about?
Hockey.
About hockey?
Hockey. He provided the answer as well.
Well, I don't think that it's subjective. Is it the equipment changes for the goaltenders? Is it the sticks that the players use? Is it?
I would say those are more technological changes, not as much rule change.
Okay.
That's more change in technology. So I will give you a hint. The answer is neither of those that you just provided.
Okay. Maybe it's the taking out of the 2-line pass.
Ding, ding, ding. Answer the removal of the 2-line pass. Yeah, the other ones that you were naming were more so technology. Okay. I would say advancements in technology are not rule changes.
Okay. But. Yeah, that's I mean, it opens the game up more.
Yeah. Yep.
Sunx, Nader says, Sunx, do you know who scored 50 goals, 50 holes? I don't know.
Goals, I think. And did anybody score 50 goals last year?
No. For the Islanders, no. It's been a long time since the Islanders had a 50 goal scorer.
Mike Bossy.
Mike Bossy, sure, he had 50 goals.
Woo.
Mario Vargas says, when teams cheat, who does the cheating? The quarterback or the head coach?
The head coach.
Head coach. Head coach tells guys what to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's in charge of the whole operation.
Just like Bounty Gate.
Players, believe me, players aren't going rogue.
No,
on the field. No.
My coach told me to do one thing, and I said,
and I just did the other.
That's
not the way it works.
No,
that's not the way it works.
It's the head coach. It's absolutely the head coach. They're pulling the strings.
Ryan Richards says Gil does his podcast too late at night. No one's up at 12 midnight. I am, but I don't listen to his podcast then. Nick D says, Grumpy, what's your opinion on Yzerman becoming the assistant captain on Boston College? Boston College is going to suck. He don't strike me as being a team guy. Sorry. I don't know him from a hole in the wall. I want him to pan out. The more I read about him.
It's Cole Yzerman, right?
Yes, it is, Sex. Good for you.
Ooh, okay. I'm learning.
Not with a Y either.
Is he related? No, not the same. Not related. Not related.
Ryan Richards adds, Grumpy is going to get beat by 50 points. I'm calling it now.
Wow. 50 points. That is a lot. That is a lot.
I don't think I'm going to get beat by 50. I might lose, but I don't think I'm going to get beat by 50.
If Grumpy gets beat by 50 points, Grumpy, you're going to have to do something if you get beat by 50 points.
I got, like I said, last week, I got thumped.
Okay, I'm just saying to lose by 50 points.
And do you want to know who I blame for all my beatings?
Don't you blame me.
The NFL coaches who don't play their guys in preseason.
Yes, I agree.
Because they all look like there's
Nico Collins bounced back this week. Jamar Chase bounced back. Terry McLaurin bounced back.
The problem that Houston has with Nico Collins is that nobody else stepped up.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to defend anyone else,
just everybody
they'll double or even they'll do bracket double team and then put a bracket over the top of Nico Collins. Make somebody else beat us.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk might come back this week. Could help them. I don't know. He's still injured though.
Yeah, he's still injured. Yep.
Big Eye on the Fan says, I think I picked the worst team ever in your fantasy league. I might go 0-17. Well, I hope you do, particularly when I play you. Nader goes, Son X, do you know who scored 50 goals or more for the Islanders? You already put that one up, X.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Ryan Richards says, always look forward to the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing. You want to get your name on here, just give X a little smooch. You're absolutely going to get your comments read.
There we go.
Matthew West says, I remember Palpy scored 48 one year.
I think I know. It's Ziggy Palfy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at X.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
He did not score 50, though. Turgeon was the last one to score 50 goals. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't. Maybe they said who was the last one. I don't know. Kirill says, Grumpy, well done. Was that for the.
That's for you answering that two-line pass question.
Pass.
Yep.
Nader says, who scored the first hat trick for the Islanders? I don't even know that.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't even know that.
Okay. Grumpy doesn't know that. I definitely ain't going to know.
Do not know.
We did have one more piece of information to put up tonight, Grumpy. Let me remove this.
Interesting here. Number announcements. Jonathan Drouin is going to wear number 29, last worn by Brock Nelson last year. What do the people think of that, X? What do you think about that? I have two thoughts, but I want to know what you think of Brock Nelson. Even though he took a lot of shit from me, loyal Islander, played here over a decade. I mean,
to me, a player that's been here for a while, not even, caliber player, right? Who's loyal, been here for a long time. You're going to have some big shoes to fill, right? Wearing his number.
Okay. Jonathan Drouin was a UFA, who's, I think he's 30 years old, signed here for 2 years.
Yeah.
His normal number is 27, which captain below average has.
Which means he wasn't going to take 27.
Right. So he wasn't getting 27, but he took 29, and he's never had 29 before, which was interesting. I know he did some type of mental gymnastics, how he came up with 29, whatever. I'm just wondering, should the Islanders say that one's kind of not available for this year out of respect for Nelson for 1 year? And the fact is he,
are they going to retire his number?
No, I don't know. They certainly shouldn't.
No, it's available. Sorry.
But here's the thing. Jonathan Drouin I consider him kind of like a carpetbagger. How long is he going to be here with the team? Maybe
that's
2 years, maybe 2 years. I think if Matthew Schaefer said, hey, I want to come in and get number 29.
Yes, sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you're the face of the franchise going forward. Is Jonathan Drouin the face of the franchise going forward?
No, but that's also why I said he's going to have big shoes to fill. That's why I said, you know what? I don't mind him getting the number. If he performs really well, great. You know what? Awesome. At the end of the day, if I'm being 100% honest, it's a freaking number. It's a number. It's not like, I guess numbers in other sports where, they're position specific, right? It's not like that. I feel
that's
hockey.
How baseball used to be.
Well, yeah, baseball used to be like that. Soccer is like that. Football is like that, right? All those, you get a number based on what position you play for the most part.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It used to be like that, though. It absolutely used to be like that. You get a certain number based on what position you played. But soccer is definitely like that, where you pick a certain number based on the position. And I think it's not like that in hockey. It's just a number, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm fine with him.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like I said, not the biggest Brock Nelson fan. TJ loved him. But you could have held off a year before giving his number out as opposed to 3 months. That's all I'll say. Drew says, seems like number 29 for the Islanders will be a popular jersey number for future trade candidates. Maybe that's what it is. They should give it to Anders Lee and JG Pajot now. Make them both wear 29. And Ryan Rich says 29 is ugly.
Yep.
X, I think I sent you an article real quick on how Jonathan Drouin is best friends with another Islander, which has me concerned.
I don't have it, but yeah, I think you did send to me, but I do not have it. I'm sorry. I do not have it for the show. I got everything that you asked me to have, but I did not get that. I'm sorry.
Do you remember who was like his best friend on the team?
Anthony Duclair.
Anthony the Quitter Duclair.
Do you remember that? I remember.
Is that concerning? Would that be concerning?
Yes, because you said he's a quitter. I do remember you saying he's a quitter.
He is a quitter.
He quit on the team. He quit on
I'm
the
not
team.
making that up.
Yes,
He
that
quit
is
on the
concerning
team.
that he's a quitter. Yes, that is concerning.
And if your best buddy
With a quitter
is the new
means he's
guy
gonna leak off his
with the
quitting.
quitter, what does it say? Who just stole a modern day legend, according to some Islanders fans, took his number after a year? Sounds like there's a conspiracy afoot, X.
We'll have quit times 2.
Yeah.
Ryan Richards says 81, great number.
81's a good number.
Yep.
Nader says, Son X, do you know what Gordie Howe hat tricks were?
I do know what a Gordie Howe hat trick is. It is a goal, assist, and a fight all in one game.
Kudos to X-Man. That's 3 points for X.
That's right. Ooh, 3 points because I named 3 things.
Freedom Fund Event says, be blessed. Too pissed off about the murder of Charlie Kirk to participate, but have a good show and get a new mayor in Charlotte. God bless all good. This show is not political. All I'll say is those 2 things are distressing to me, both of them. JP says, I have to admit that I'm a bit tired of the whole retired numbers thing. It's overdone, especially with the Islanders franchise. Absolutely. Yep. Too many guys having their numbers retired.
Yep.
You just have to win something, no?
Yeah.
Or be like, a true legend. Like, would you retire? John Tonelli had his number retired. Would you throw Andrew Lee's name up there too because they both have 27? I wouldn't. No. They never won anything. And he was just an average player. Ryan Richards says, what's your guys' favorite numbers? I like the 80s. Do you have a favorite number, X?
Okay, for hockey or for
just a favorite number for yourself? What you always like to pick what number when you play?
1. I always pick 1. I always pick number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
My favorite number was always number 3 because
it's so random.
Well, my first favorite quarterback was Darryl LaMonica, who played for the Oakland Raiders, and he had number 3. So
he was the Mad Bomber, right?
Number 3. And then Reggie Jackson was number 9 with the Oakland A's.
Yep.
And like I said, as a guy from New York who liked the Oakland teams, I couldn't tell you why. Well, I can tell you why. Actually, I can tell you why. I love the silver black uniforms. And my dad he had season tickets to the Jets games. And I remember he'd bring like the program and a pennant. And I remember just seeing Darryl LaMonica throwing it was a pose shot, no helmet on, the white jersey, and it was in black and white. Okay. But I could still vividly see it. Silver pants, white jersey with silver number, just and throwing like he's throwing a lateral. You see the ball spinning, it's off his hand. I'm like, oh, that guy's my freaking hero. I love him. And then Reggie Jackson for the A's. I just love their uniforms, the white shoes. The white shoes sold me. When you're a kid, you're 9, 10 years old. That's when you really start getting into sports, where you kind of remember, oh yeah.
I remembering stuff. Yeah.
And I remember hitting that home run in the 1971 All-Star game. We were on some failed family vacation like we had every year. We'd go somewhere. I took a freaking camping trip to Virginia, of all places, from New York for some reason. And it got rained out. We drowned. We spent a night in a hotel and saw that home run. It was like, holy crap, off the light tower. Kurt Gowdy calling that game. It was great. JP says, do you have any of those stories, X? Who's your favorite baseball? Who's your favorite athlete of all time?
My favorite athlete of all time?
Your first favorite athlete.
Okay, because it's probably changed now. But my first favorite athlete of all time was absolutely Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter.
Wasn't even close for number 2. It was Derek Jeter when I was a kid. Absolutely my favorite.
And you remember who TJ's was?
Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza. He could have got himself a Piazza autograph, as I remember, X.
But then that Karen from the Phillies game probably would have stole it from him.
Man, that Karen. I'll tell you what. The kid made out better, honestly. But I was really hoping someone would kick her down.
I'm glad the kid made out better, though. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
And good on the Phillies. Good on them.
You know something? Her husband was there.
He looked like he was hiding his face. Okay.
Calvin Kuckmeister didn't.
If I was being honest, that guy was probably like, "Please don't look at me. I'm not associated with this woman."
Calvin Kuckmeister didn't have enough guts to drag that zebra-haired bitch away from that guy.
God, okay, Grumpy. Okay, calm down.
JP says, I believe that only the New York Islanders that should have their numbers retired. It would have been Potvin, Bossy, Trottier. That's it. Okay. Okay. That's fine. The number 6 is Ken Morrow. No, we should not have his number retired. I don't think Billy Smith should have his number. I know we won all those Stanley Cups, but I never thought that. I don't know. I always like
I feel
Chico
like they
Reds
kind of
better than
just
Billy
tie
Smith.
them all in together, honestly, because
Oh.
it's like a team accomplishment, but it's still considered for them. I mean, I feel like they just do that with a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're part of the team at that point in time and you're playing and you're starting every game, you're gonna. I mean, it's not like they retired his number in the NHL Hall of Fame, right? Or it's not like they have something like that.
Now-
It's just a team,
right now, Billy Smith made the Hall of Fame, as did Clark Gillies.
Yeah, I understand. Probably the amount of cups they won.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of it. But when you're talking the top 3 Islander players, it's Bossy, Trottier, and Potvin.
Yeah,
it is. Okay. Next comment, please, Mr. X. Pure Rising says, Grumpy, who did Jackson hit that shot off of? I believe it was Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis, that is the answer. You are correct,
okay,
Grumpy.
for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Look at you.
When's day 1 of training camp? I believe Tuesday or Wednesday. 5, 22, and 19 without them. There are no cups, period. Okay, that's it. That's Potvin, Bossy, and Trottier. True. They were the best players. No doubt about it.
Grumpy, and that is it for today.
And hopefully next year we'll have some type of information on the Islanders training camp. That's all we can hope for, right? Correct. Something like Matthew Schaefer is getting sent down to the minors. That's not happening.
No.
But I'm interested to see how the young guys look.
Yep.
I wait for the veterans to come in. Are you excited about the preseason, X?
I'm very excited about the preseason. I'm excited to see the team play.
Look at that. Look at X. He's getting all geeked up.
I am very excited. Very excited.
Of course, we're going to do our NHL preview show as we get a little bit closer to the season.
Yep. Predictions, all that jazz. So.
But summertime is over, folks.
Yep.
We're going to be jumping into training.
That's why we're wearing hoodies.
That's why we're wearing hoodies. Getting ready. Temperature's dropping a little bit.
It absolutely is.
That's what we like. That's what we like. All right.
Anything you want to say before we hop off, Grumpy?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from the Grumpy Old Man and Son X.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.